Greetings, everyone. This is Gerard, editor-in-chief of Filipino Soul Magazine, aka SGIB Magazine. This stands for Soldiers Got Intentions. Believe that, because everyone should be soldiering for something. A dream, a goal, an idea, a train of thought, something. And owner PPG's production, that stands for Photos by Gerard, the best in freelance publicity photography. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because so you won't miss any videos that I'm posting, especially a video such as the one I'm about to do right now. You know, one of the things that I enjoy more than anything else is that talking to people. And a lot of times we take time to talk to people other than just the normal greetings of the day. You may find out that they have lived some very interesting lives. I know when I used to do mentor work for the NAACP with the youth, when we would go on trips, the assignment that I would give them would be to find the oldest person or oldest black person and ask them what they remember during the civil rights struggle. Because the best way, I think, to learn history is from those who were part of it and who were there. Well, today I have a very special treat for you. You know, I am a movie buff. I have to admit it that a lot of my belief factors, a lot of things that have created me or become a part of my moral fiber of who I am is from watching TV. I'm sorry to say, shows like Leave It to Beaver, Father Knows Best, a lot of those shows where there was a message and what a family nucleus should look like. A lot of those shows we don't have today, but they try to emulate them, but it just isn't the same. They always got to add some type of politically correct type of aspect to it, and as a result, it doesn't appeal to me anymore. Well, I remember when my brother and I were young, and Woodstock was going on, and my brother and I were, wondering should we go to Woodstock or not, or go to Woodstock. And I guess my mother, I got to hand it to her, she was smart, because she said, "Would you like to go to a movie?" And we said, sure, we love to go to a movie. And one of the movies that I went to see was that called Five Star Stud, and it starred Robert Mitchum and also Dean Martin, which I love those guys, and it was a great movie, man. I whenever I get a chance to see it, I can. Well, today I'm going to introduce you Dale. Dale has been a part of the movie family, the behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. He has a lot of stories to tell about some of the actors, and we just go on. Let me stop trying to tell you about Dale and let Dale tell you about himself. What's up, Dale? How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Okay, good. First of all, how'd you get into the Philippines?
How did I get into the Philippines? I had just gotten divorced in 2003, and I was sitting home, and I was alone, and I was tired of sitting home. It was Sunday. I read the Sunday paper, and they had a great advertisement in the paper for Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
So I went to Hong Kong, and I was having a great time, but a little lonely. And I walked downstairs to the bar in the hotel, and I met some Australian sailors.
Right.
And they said, "What are you doing here? You should be in Cebu."
Whoa! Yes.
And I said, "Why?" And so they told me all the advantages of Cebu. That Hong Kong has a lot of advantages, but it's very expensive there by comparison.
Yes. Okay.
So I went to the travel agent the next morning, and I got a ticket to Cebu, and this was 2003, and I've been coming here ever since.
Oh, okay.
This time I've been here a year and a half.
Okay. And if I say you have a very, very, very beautiful partner.
Thank you.
Yes. And her name again is
Joann.
Joann. We will say hi, Joann. All right. So let's talk about you. How'd you get involved in movies? Or before we start going through the stories and all that stuff, whatever. What made you decide to get into the movie business?
It was accidental, but I was part of a family that was in the ambulance business in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And a lot of people in Los Angeles knew me because of that. And one in particular was this deputy sheriff from West Hollywood.
Right.
unknown to me, he had moved to Las Vegas and opened the first ambulance service in Las Vegas.
Okay.
I went up there one weekend and I was going around and I drove by this ambulance service and I said, I think I'll walk in and, see if I know anybody.
Right.
Well, I walked in, he introduced himself, told me who he was. And I said, well, I probably worked with you or seen you. I said, because, I'm Dale Henry and, I'm at Henry's ambulance service. And he said, you're Dale Henry? And I said, yeah. He said, you want a job? So what do you have in mind? So he told me. And so I said, I'll come work for you for the summer.
Right,
and
okay.
We'll see where it goes.
Right.
We both like each other.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, my father, who was also a first aid man in the motion picture business,
Okay.
got a job on this show Sea Hunt with Lloyd Bridges.
Oh, Sea Hunt. Yes, it was Sea
Very,
Hunt.
very
Yes.
popular.
Yes, Sea Hunt. Yes.
And also
He was a scuba diver. No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Sea Hunt. Yeah.
And also the father of Jeff Bridges.
Jeff
who,
Bridges. Yes.
Very popular.
Yes. He did King Kong too.
Yes,
Jeff
he
Bridges.
did.
Yes.
And
Jeff
I turned
Bridges.
King Kong down.
Well, really?
Yeah.
Why did you turn King Kong down?
Because
Are you talking about turn down as an actor or?
No, I turned down the movie.
Okay.
And
Now, when you say you turned down the movie, what do you mean you turned down?
I was
the movie?
offered the job
Okay.
to be the head of production on
Oh, okay.
that movie. I was also offered at the same time a show that was very popular as a book that was going to go to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
I'd never been to Puerto Rico.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So that's why I turned down King Kong and
Wow.
took the job on Puerto Rico.
Okay.
But getting back to Lloyd Bridges.
Wait, we want to give a shout out to the people in Puerto Rico. We hope that you guys are finally getting your life together and all the utilities and amenities and all those things that you need to get your life back to normal. We send our prayers to you. Okay, so go ahead.
So anyway, my dad was doing the first aid on that show, and they were going to go out to Lake Mead to film,
Yes.
and they were going to
Lake Mead in Las Vegas, or Lake Mead in
Las Vegas.
Okay, in Las Vegas. Yes, that's yeah.
And I'm reverting back to the Lloyd Bridges.
Right. Okay.
And,
Yeah. Sure.
And you asked me how I got in.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to give them an idea where Lake Mead was, and which
okay,
was
yeah.
the same one in Las Vegas.
That's right. And so my dad called me and said, can you guys bring an ambulance out and stand by tomorrow? We're going to be close to the shore, but in the water most of the day, and we're going to do a couple minor stunts, and we want to make sure we're safe and we're covered. So
Sure.
I said, sure. So I said, yeah, good chance for me to have a break. I'll come myself.
right. Okay.
So I went out, and of course my dad, who was the only first aid man because that's all I have on the show,
Right.
had made friends with all the drivers.
Right.
And so at lunchtime, he introduced me to all the drivers. I had lunch with them.
Right.
And they said, how much do you make? And I told them. And they seemed to be making 3 times that much as a driver.
Wow. change.
So I said, how do I become a driver?
Okay.
So they told me.
Okay.
So a couple of weeks later, we got an ambulance call, believe it or not, to to Los Angeles from Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down, I took the call and went down, and the guy got shot in the face. And he was a veteran, had to go to the Veterans Hospital in Los Angeles.
Right.
And so I dropped him off and went over to the address he gave me, the Union Hall on Melrose Boulevard in Hollywood, and I signed up.
For your union card?
And yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I said, it's going to be a while before we call you, maybe up to 6 months.
Right.
And when we call you, you may have to come in at 3 o'clock in the morning. You better answer the phone and you show up. If you don't show up, we'll never call you.
Right, okay.
And that's exactly what happened. They called me at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, get right in here and you're going to work on
Spartacus, that's with Kirk Douglas.
That's correct.
Kirk Douglas. Wow, now we're going back here. We're going back Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, this was 1959.
Right, okay. And Kirk Douglas, if you don't know, he's the father of Michael Douglas, who's married to I can't remember her name.
Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine
Zeta-Jones.
Zeta-Jones. Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I went to Universal, which was called Review Studio at that time. It had become Universal.
Right. Okay.
And we filmed up on a hill right next to the Hollywood freeway.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And I worked there for a while. And when that job was over, they called me and I told them I was done. They said, go to MGM.
Okay. Wait. I'm not going to let you just skirt over working on a film with Kirk Douglas. Tell us some of the story. You got a special story about working on that film with Kirk Douglas?
You know what? Getting old is no fun.
Right.
And my mind is going. Because another actor worked on the show, prominent actor, big part, and John something. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But he was going with an actress by the name of Tuesday Weld.
Oh, Tuesday Weld. I heard
17.
Yes.
17 years old.
Wow.
And she's out there in the middle of the night with him, and that was a big story.
Wow. Okay. Wait. He was telling me a story about the Duke, John Wayne. When John Wayne loved fighting
Yeah, we're getting ready to do a shot that we tow his car with an insert car.
Right.
The driver had worked for me several times.
Right.
And we were friends, and he was hooking up the car. Mm-hmm. So I said, George, can I help you? Mm-hmm. And he says, no, I'm okay. So I'm kind of just standing there.
Okay.
And Duke walks up, and he said, what are you guys doing? And he said, George is hooking up the car. And he said, it's going to run in the water. I said, yeah, it's going to run in the water. And he said, is it safe? And I said, yeah, it's safe. He said, well, maybe I should beat the shit out of you now, just in case.
Because John Wayne loved to fight. John Wayne was that rough and tumble type of character that he's always portrayed and everything. He fought Kirk Douglas, right?
He beat up Kirk Douglas on the Searchers in Monument Valley.
Right. Now, for those of you who don't know,
his own son.
Oh, yeah. Now, if you don't know what a hookup car is, they have a vehicle that pulls a car that's not a full car, but it's designed so that when they shoot the shot, the car is being driven, so this way they can do what they got to do behind the wheel and what have you. So to make sure, so he was saying make sure it was safe, everything to make sure before the Duke got involved in the shot. So yeah, pretty much, right?
Yeah, the hookup is basically saying,
right.
The interesting thing about an insert car is it has everything built on it to hold the camera, hold grip equipment, electric equipment, whatever they need to do.
Okay.
And half the crew is riding on that insert car.
Wow.
When they're doing these shots.
Right. Yeah.
So
what are some of the jobs you had as far as in the industry? You're a producer. You had.
I started as a driver.
Were you ever? Did the acting bug ever hit you where you?
Well, what happened was not really, but one summer I was taking a vacation, and I went to see my dad and my mother because they were on location doing a show called The Big Country with Gregory Peck and Charles Bickford and Chuck Connors and all that.
Yeah. Rifleman, Brandon, Chuck Connors, the football player.
Baseball.
Oh, baseball. Chuck Connors was a baseball player?
Yeah. Okay. For the Los Angeles Angels.
Oh, okay.
And so I went to visit them for a few days, and they had 2 units that they wanted to run, which happens often now.
Right.
And so my father was a first aid man on the first unit. The first aid man on the second unit fell in a rabbit hole, broke his leg.
Wow.
And it was summertime, Union didn't have anybody to stand up.
Right.
And I'm just up there visiting, I'm in bed, I'm sleeping, and knock on my door at midnight.
Right.
And it's the unit production manager saying, Dale, we understand you're a first aid man, blah, 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 blah. Will you come to work tomorrow?
Wow.
So I said, yeah. And I met Jean Simmons. She was the star, female star of the show, one of them. And she was working that day, and it was a Friday, and I'll never forget that because at the end of the day, she walked in, she says, "I don't know anybody on this set," and I said, "Neither do I. It's my first day." And she said, "You think that here's $20. You think you could have somebody buy some beer so we can, give it to the crew for a tailgate party?"
Right. Okay.
So I said, "Sure." So I went to the driver captain and I said, "Can you send somebody to get a couple cases of beer?" And Gene Simmons is paying for it, and it's for the tailgate party for everybody.
Sure.
So they did, And,
Wow. Now, there have been a lot of beautiful women that come out of Hollywood. Rita Hayworth. Oh my God, I can't. Can't remember the pinup girl.
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. I'm talking about before.
Betty Grable.
Betty Grable. Yeah. A lot of them. Who do you think? You have a favorite from back then? What's the other ones there? I can't remember. Started with the D. I see her picture. I see her. I can't. Marlena Dietrich was another beautiful woman. Yeah. Is there anyone
before my time?
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I'm dating myself. Okay. Is there any woman that stands out in your mind?
Well, actually there is, but because she's married and she's old now, I don't want to embarrass her if she ever happened to see this,
Right, okay.
So I just really don't want to mention her name.
Okay, keep it okay.
Yeah, but there were some,
Okay.
there were some gorgeous women.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, me and you were talking about a movie. We were talking about a movie that called Hard Times, and it had Charles Bronson, and I swore it had Lee Marvin, and we went back and forth. He even bet me $100. I was so sure it was Lee Marvin, and it turned out to be James Coburn.
Right.
James Coburn. So you were telling me stories about Lee Marvin. Lee Marvin was the actor who actually started the palimony suit. What made it possible for women who live in common law relationships to sue for spousal support. So you were telling us a story about Lee Marvin. Lee Marvin used to play cards at your house, and
yeah, he used to come to my house on Sundays when we were on Paint Your Wagon, just on that show only.
Right.
Because I rented a house on location. I didn't want to live in the motels where the crew was, and so I didn't want to sit around on Sunday with nothing to do. So I'd have a poker game every Sunday.
Okay.
All these guys would come and we'd play cards for 3-4 hours.
Wow. Is there one movie that stands out in your mind? And then we're going to talk about movies compared to how they are today.
Excuse me, man, would you pick that computer up and look? There's a white piece of paper underneath.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I started to write some names.
Yeah, right now.
Just lift up the
No. I put them aside.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I put them aside. Okay.
Okay.
This is really exciting to me because to me it's like being a part of history, and my being a big movie buff, to talk to someone. I still watch Steve McQueen. I just saw him in The Bullet. I just watched. I watch TMC, Time Movie Classics. So I watch a lot of the movies all the time, and this is fascinating to me to be able to talk to someone who is actually on the set, who actually knows those actors, who actually have life experiences, has been part of making those films.
I watched TMC last night.
Oh, what you watch?
And it was Frank Sinatra and the other 6 guys that played.
The Rat Pack? No.
No.
Oh.
The movie done in Las Vegas where they robbed the 5 casinos.
Oh, Ocean 11.
Ocean 11.
Yeah. Yes.
I watched that last night because I actually worked on it for a couple of days.
Okay.
In 1960. Because my dad was the first aid man on it.
Okay.
And he asked me to come help him out.
Wow.
Yeah.
All blue eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched that last night.
Okay.
I told you about the big country.
Uh-huh.
I told you about Spartacus. Okay, 1960, How the West Was Won.
Oh, I remember how.
A great movie.
Was that with Glenn Ford? Or
No.
Who was doing How the West Was Won?
Debbie Reynolds.
Okay.
Here I go again.
Okay. How the West was won. Who else you got down there?
James Stewart.
Oh, James Stewart. James Stewart was in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
James Stewart. He was great on Liberty Ballad.
Yeah,
The story, of Liberty
right,
Ballad,
yeah.
that was with Lee Marvin. That was it. If you want to watch, there's some really great westerns if you want to watch. The story of Liberty Ballad, Once Upon a Time in the West, Once Upon a Time in the West with Charles Bronson, Henry Fonda. Let's see, what else? What's the one where they did the Wild Bunch? Then of course you move up to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. There are a lot of great movies that you can watch and talk about. There was a time when sometimes I wanted to see a movie with a horse in it. Because a lot of times they don't make movies with horses in it no more. So in order to see a horse, you gotta look at some of these other movies here. Who else you got down there, Dale?
Okay, after that was The Glass Bottom Boat.
Okay.
Which we shot in Catalina with Doris Day.
Okay.
And,
well, I'm working with Ellen Bayou. She is a Showtime Daily winner. In fact, you met Ellen. And one of the songs, I'm trying to give a number of songs for her to sing. And one of the songs that she's singing now is called Que Sera Sera, which is by Doris Day. But she does it in English and Visaya. And it's because the song is a beautiful message.
That's a great song.
Yes.
Very popular as well. Okay, after that, they had this new young actor. His name was Gary Lockwood.
Gary Lockwood.
And he was just coming up, and they gave him a show to do where he played a Marine lieutenant.
Okay, and what's the name of that movie?
The Lieutenant.
Oh, okay.
And it ended up going to TV.
Okay.
It was being shot as a feature,
Right.
but ended up going out as a TV series.
Okay.
And only went for one season.
Okay.
But, one season. One of the Elvis shows I did was Viva Las Vegas.
Okay, yes.
I know everybody knows that one.
Yes.
And Margret as well.
Yes.
And I taught her how to ride a motorcycle.
Wow, you taught Aunt Margaret to ride a motorcycle?
I taught Aunt Margaret.
When he mentioned Aunt Margaret, some of you may remember this. I don't know how many years ago, but Oprah Winfrey had a cover on TV Guide. And it was a TV Guide, which like she was sitting side and she had this long dress on and what have you. Come to find out, it was a knockoff from Aunt Margaret's shot that she had done with the same thing. So those of you who know about that, I just throw it out there. Aunt Margaret was hell of a... I liked her and Tommy, with Roger Daltrey, where she played, Aunt Margaret, of course, yeah. Elvis, how many movies did Elvis do with Aunt Margaret? Did she just do one? Just the one? Oh, okay.
But she was always working. Something interesting about her is her father was an electrician at MGM.
Okay.
I knew her father.
Ah, okay.
And I didn't know her. I never heard of her until that movie.
Right.
And then when they asked me to teach her to ride the motorcycle, is when we met.
Oh, okay.
And we became friends, and we used to go out now and then, just as friends.
Right, sure.
And I was married.
Okay.
She knew I was married.
Okay. That's what you can have girlfriends. That's what I have. People say, "How many girlfriends you got?" I said, "You a girl?" Yes, you're a friend. So I got a lot of girlfriends. Yeah. Wow. So you worked on more Elvis movies. That wasn't just on Elvis.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Oh, now if I think of the name, there's this one we did up in Big Bear where he played himself and his cousin.
Oh.
Who they looked alike.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of the name of it right now.
Okay.
And there's another one that it's where we shot. Oh, geez, here we go. It was on the back lot in Culver City, and it was like a period picture where the words won't come out, and the guy and he dressed up like fairies. And whatever.
Okay.
I did that one.
Okay.
And then we did. I couldn't write it down yesterday either.
Mm-hmm. You got any more down there?
I got a whole bunch of them.
Okay, go. Just read them off. Let's see if anything jumps out.
Okay. I told you Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton in The Sandpiper.
I told Dale that my first publication in the New York Post was that of Richard Burton, and he was working with Ted O'Neill in A Circle of Fear. So, go ahead. Who else?
Okay. I worked in the production office at MGM for 4 years, 64 to 68. 69, I did Paint Your Wagon.
Okay, that's with John Wayne.
No, that was Lee Marvin, Clint Eastwood.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the last picture I did, well, was Stargate with Kurt Russell.
Okay.
And I also did one just prior to that called Boiling Point with Wesley Snipes.
Oh, okay, Boiling Point. Wow. Okay. Wow. Now we're coming up to date.
I did, back in '92, I did Boiling Point with Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
And then before that was Some Kind of Hero with Richard Pryor.
Wow, with Richard Pryor.
I worked 3 times with Richard Pryor.
Okay.
And I also am taking credit for saving his ass in the bar one night when he got drunk and was trying to make it with his blonde, and her friends didn't like it.
Wow.
I tell you, Lady Sings the Blues.
Okay, yes, I remember. Yes, that's what
That's why I first met her.
with what's his name, Billy D. Williams, and Dinah Ross.
Right.
I played in that movie. Yeah,
right. And that's when I found out, and got okayed the fact that he drank a quart of cognac every day.
Wow.
And he did that up until it killed him.
Wow.
I also went to a couple of parties in his house.
Okay.
He lived in the same part of the San Fernando Valley that I lived in.
Wow. See, this is stuff you don't hear about. You know people who are actually there. This type of history. Yeah.
Okay, I did one called Going Coconuts.
Okay, that's
Donnie and Marie Osmond.
Okay.
We did that in Hawaii.
Okay.
That's one of 3 shows I did in Hawaii.
Okay. Yes.
And I did one of a guy that I really liked to just pass away recently called Powers Booth. But I can't. We did that in Wyoming, but I can't think of the name of it.
Powers Booth.
Powers Booth, yeah.
That's how he was trying to ring the bell.
Or you look it up on the internet, you'll find him real quick. And all that stuff.
Okay.
In fact, any of these names I mentioned, you just go on the internet and type in your name. I did Walking Tall.
Oh, yeah.
1 and 2.
Joe Don Baker.
Yeah,
Yes.
And then,
That was that was based on a true life story.
oh yeah, that was. We shot it. And,
For those who don't know about Joe Don Baker was he was a guy. He was kind of like an outcast, I guess, or whatever. Lewis saying anything, but the town kind of got after him, and then they grabbed him, and then they beat him, they bred him, they did a lot of horrible things.
they killed him.
Yeah, okay.
And
I think that's horrible enough. They killed him.
When I was prepping Walking Tall 3.
Okay.
There was eventually a Walking Tall 3 made.
Right. But during the movie, he acted revenge, because he carried this big club.
He did.
Yeah.
And he banged it against the windshield right in front of your face.
Yeah.
And I tell you, that actor about jumped out of the car.
Right.
I mean, I was a thick bat.
Right. Okay. Wow. So there was a 1, 2, and 3 on Walking Tall.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 1972 was the first one.
Yeah.
And
I remember the scene in court when they were talking to him about what they did to him, and he ripped off his shirt and showed all these scars and turned around, and the order said, "Put on your shirt, click, put down your shirt," and all this stuff, what have you. Order in the court, and what have you. But I remember that scene. That was one hell of a movie.
that was in 3.
Was that in 3?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I did one called Sisters with a black actress, and I can't think of her name.
Is that Whoopi Goldberg? Sisters? With Sisters?
No, this is way before Whoopi. This girl was a beautiful black lady. She had a TV series at Fox about...
You're not talking about Diana Carroll.
Diane Carroll,
Diana Carroll, okay, yeah.
See, I told
okay.
you, my mind is...
Well, mine's is on. That's what we're here for. We're going to do it together, Dale. Okay, Diana Carroll, yeah.
And it was really...
She did Julia.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was really a fun show for me to do because I had several responsibilities on that show. I was a transportation coordinator, I was a location manager, and I was a production manager.
Right, okay.
And that happens from time to time.
Wow.
And, you know, I was sent down there by Fox. I was the only white guy there.
Okay.
And I'm going to black churches on Sunday.
Right, okay. Right, okay.
If you think that's not strange in the South, it's strange enough here.
Right.
But in the South,
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
But anyway, I did a lot of things on that show. It was a lot of fun. Then I did a TV series called Cagney and Lacey.
Oh yes, yes, Cagney and Lacey, yes. That was a good movie. That was a good movie.
So that's about all I got.
Okay, well that's been a very, very fascinating stroll down memory lane with the movie thing. You know, of course, I can ask you, well, all the presidents you have, talk about Trump and talk about this racial thing and talk about all that stuff like that. But you know, this isn't what it's about. This is just this is about entertainment. This is about your life experience and following your dreams and your goals and being where you want to be in life. What advice would you give someone about following their dreams and their goals?
Go for it. Just do what I did. You walk into the place that's doing the hiring and you just present yourself.
Okay.
And if you act like yourself and you're honest and you mean what you say, there's no reason why you can't get a start.
Okay.
And that's up to you from then on to keep advancing.
Right, okay.
And I mean, I'll give you one example. I let my son into the business once when he was 23, and he lasted 5 years. He wanted to be a musician, and that's what he wanted.
Right.
And so he quit the movie business to become a musician.
I was listening to his CD. He got nice CDs, some nice songs on there.
Yeah.
Of course. I was trying to bring it to you, but my Murphy's Law, what can't go wrong, Will, my computer went open the tray, went over to bring it over to you now. But yes, I heard him. Yeah, he's a musician. Yeah.
And he's in 2 other bands as well as that one. But,
okay, so let's talk. You're about ready to leave the Philippines.
Yes.
Yeah. Matter of fact, a matter of weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Are you coming back, or is this
probably not? I think this is my swan song.
Okay.
And like I said, I've been doing it all these years now. I kind of hate leaving. On one hand, I went home 6 months ago for the holidays, and my kids are just begging me, Dad, please come home.
I kind of resent the fact that I waited so late in life to find it myself, But what are a couple of things you're really going to miss about the Philippines here, Bill?
Well, for one thing, this apartment.